Yeah. So, and then there's one with the two of us in there, and then there's one with four of us, and that's myself. My sister's the oldest. She's the tall one, and then you've met Lois. That's her, and then you've also met Cliff, and he's the oldest boy in that picture. So, just letting you know, on the four kids, that's what it was. And I think they wanted to stop at 3, but Mother was sure there was a fourth one, so she went ahead and made sure my brother Tom, got there. We're really glad. He's the financial man, as Brian knows, in the family. So, yeah. So then let's see, when did you start? What did we want? Oh, you were running when you ran marathons. When did you become a teacher? I think that might be the next one.
I celebrated my 50th birthday. Yes, it was my 50th. By running a marathon. And God just was bound and determined that these numbers weren't going to defeat me. So I ran a marathon. At 60, I climbed into the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
And at 70, I attempted to climb the highest mountain in Montana, Granite Peak, and I didn't make it, but I did climb it at the second highest mountain, and it was a real victory for me to feel. And so here I am at 94, just remembering that I can run.
It seemed like Mom wanted to challenge herself all the time, so she joined a group called Amazing Women, and that's where they did the float of the Yukon. This is all when she was older, and that's when they did the Grand Canyon, and she went on in teaching for a lot of years, and before her mother died, they did a lot of traveling together. Her grandfather did the gold rush in Alaska, and so they went and backtracked his path, and so that was kind of a fun adventure to read about what he did and how he traveled, and he found out that the best people making money at the gold rush were the suppliers, not necessarily those digging for gold. So, but it was a tough trip. What did someone say? That they were farmers and they could make anything. They had to make their boats. They had to take 2,000 pounds of stuff with them. They had the Canadian people made sure they had enough to get through a winter, so it was really quite a challenge. Then the boat dumped over at Lake Windermere. This was Lake Windermere. They had to dive down to get their tools, freezing cold. Anyway, it's kind of fascinating to listen to that story, but they followed the path, she and her mom, before her mom passed away. Another thing I want to talk about for Mom, she got her doctorate at some point in her teaching career. She taught 25 years. She, at some point, decided to become an astronomer. You want to tell about that? And I've shown this a little bit. These are a couple of her columns. You wrote columns for a lot of years for the Helena paper and went to the observatory and showed people. Have we worn you guys out already? No? Okay. So I'll pass this around. This is some of you have seen this. This is when she went public viewing and all sorts of things, and she had a lot of fun. And this is kind of her interest in this is where she got her name, and I'll have her tell you that. You got your name?
Oh, well, I was fascinated by the stars and the Indian stories about them. And I wrote this column for around 20 years in the Helena newspaper. Helena's Heavens.
Hold it close.
Okay. And the newspaper printed my articles, and the kids all called me Starshine. So Shine was a little long for here, so now I'm just Star.
When you divorce, maybe some of you don't know that, but when you get divorced, you can change your name for free. So that's when it got changed. So it is legally, officially Starshine. We've celebrated Mother's birthdays all along. We can open up for questions. In this book was our last celebration, where I can't remember how many we have there.
60 or 70. Anyway, it was a large celebration.
Over close.
And, well, you all saw, no, you just saw me when I was 90.
Now, was this when you were 90? When did we do this? In 2021.
So,
Okay, what else do you want to talk about, Mom? Is that about, any other questions? Oh, the crystal. Tell us about the crystal.
I was fascinated by the fact that a glass crystal could throw a rainbow up on the wall. And a friend of mine sold these, and at the time I had 4 children and 18 grandchildren. So I made 22 of these, and you can't see how pretty they are, but if you pass by my room when the sun is out in the afternoon, you'll see rainbows. And as a matter of fact, we can hang this up here and let the rainbows flash on the wall of the dining room.
We'll see if Brian can figure out a way to do that.